Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for attending. This is Charles Pope from GPA Capital, and I promised you 15 or 20 minutes. We know how busy everybody is, so as they said, I was reading the other day, they said the sign of genius is if you can take a lot of information and make it short, concise, and to the point. So let's go. We're going to record this. We can provide the recording, and ultimately a one-on-one with each of you who are interested. We have people from New York to Naples, Florida, to Illinois, Missouri, and Soho, New York. So thank you all for attending. We are offering you a 360-degree view of funding and payback. The idea is my job at GPA Capital is to provide money. I can provide money for just about anything legal, that is. But one of the first questions your banker, hedge fund, or whoever we source the capital through is going to ask is, well, how are they going to pay it back? Because ultimately, that's what you have to do. So we've partnered with American Imaging and US Allergy as part of our solutions to help pay back. And we've been doing this for several years, and I'm just truly amazed at how we help chiropractors. And even if we're not lending you money, you're not providing capital for acquisition or expansion, increased money is definitely a big plus. So I took all that, and as I was writing this, I thought, let's keep it simple. So we want to show you more cash. You want a lump sum and a loan, we can do that, or to sell your practice, and also revenue enhancements, which we're going to talk about, assist in increasing the value of your practice as well. Do you want incremental income increasing monthly, or do you want both? So we prefer both. Who is on the line with you today? This is me as managing partner of GPA Capital, and Nate Hollander, who is CEO of both American Imaging and US Allergy. Nate, you there for me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, thanks for letting me go through my slides. Nate's going to steal the show in a few minutes, so let me get through my slides. And everybody, as we visit with chiropractors or family practitioners, or any of our healthcare clients, and we do healthcare and commercial, but over the years our healthcare business has just grown. So that's what we want to focus on, and particularly the chiropractic community. We find that you guys just have so much more interest in overall health of your patients. So the question I get asked a lot when I attend meetings is, how do we make our practice bigger and better? And of course, you make it bigger and better through increased cash flow. And you'll see I've got a note here. And the note comes from one of our hedge funds, and they say they're underwriters, and we have our own underwriters, but we underwrite, and then they have to go over and review, make sure we did everything right. But the first question they go to after they vet the individuals is, have you isolated a diverse revenue stream, located related? And when I say related, and that's what Nate's going to talk about, things that give you a horizontal integration, not just vertical. So things that consist of, and the reason the webinar was called 360 Degrees was you're interested in your patient's health and your selection and implementation, and how does that work. And I've got two more financial slides, and when Nate and I were going over this yesterday, he said, Chuck, you're not going to make them experts in banking. And I lecture, I teach at the junior college on the side. I'm a graduate in finance at the Warrington College at University of Florida. So I know my stuff. So just real quick, to show you the impact of an additional service or two additional services, if you were going to borrow $1 million for 10 years, 4.25%, your monthly payment's $10,244, which you can see. If you add one revenue enhancement, what does that do? Without the revenue enhancement, your debt service coverage ratio is only 1.17, and not to give you a lot of razzmatazz on the debt service coverage ratio, but the SBA says you got to have 1.2 or else you can't get it. Oh, goodness. And you only have to use these services for like 3 to 4 months if we go commercial, and show that you're going to use them and keep using them, and it's part of your practice. If you introduce one service, look what it does. It knocks you way over what the SBA's requirement are. is. And what does that do as far as borrowable funds? That's on my next slide. And you can see how much what it does. 2.25 is you could borrow instead of, you couldn't borrow with the 12 grand cash available for debt service. You'd only borrow 976,000. With one service, you could borrow almost 1.4 million. And now we're getting into the additional services, the 360-degree patient view. When our underwriters look at things and say, okay, well, do you just do one thing? No, we do many things. But what we've seen over the years, when we look at the patient population, my goodness, look at all these things that can help patients, the spinal, nervous system, and inflammation. And Nate, I'm going to turn this over to you. And I don't know if you want to lead off this slide or you want to go to the next slide.
You can go to the next slide, it's fine. So thanks for your help, Chuck, and good explanation of what you're saying on financing. I will say I've worked with Chuck before and excellent expertise in financing, but even more importantly, he has some excellent connections. So whether you need financing to expand your office or good old insurances or slow cash flow, and you need money running the medical practice or chiropractic practice, or for any other reason with the office that you needed money, obviously he's an excellent source, number one, has the contacts, and we try to be a turnkey package. And by that I mean, if in doing the testing with us, we can get you enough monies from the testing so you pay the debt service on numbers that he's talking about, $500,000, $1 million, etc. And by that, with explanation, is we do, as he said, nerve conduction, spinal ultrasound, allergy testing. And we go all over the country. So wherever your practice is, we can go any place in the country, rural or urban. And as far as the testing, we do on one day nerve conduction, EMG, spinal ultrasound, and you get reports from our board-certified neurologists and radiologists. Legally, we can pay $1,000. It's a fair market lease. We can pay that direct deposit or mail you a check after testing. You get reports from our board-certified neurologist and radiologist, and you within 48 hours by email or fax, whatever you want. And then you sit with the patient, go over the reports, bill out for follow-up consult. So between the follow-up consults and the $1,000 we pay, you make $1,500, $2,000 per day of testing, a full day of testing. It's a safe harbor lease, a supervisory lease, and you give us like 5 or 6 or 6 or 7 patients, I should say. And most any diagnosis applies, from back pain, sprain strain, to neuropathy, reticulitis, circulation, diabetes, or to rule out something that you're doing. Super nice technicians, state-of-the-art equipment, and we do our testing 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, as long as you're open all day. You send us the 6, 7 patients, and we'll quickly do the pre-authorization, and then we call you. You tell us the most convenient day of the week to do it. There's no obligation, and if you give it a try, I think you'll be extremely impressed with the technicians, the equipment, getting the reports. You'll have a plan of treatment for the patients. Patients are happier because they won't have to go to a hospital or to a specialist, and as you know, in this day and age, sometimes the specialist keeps the patient, which is insult to injury when you refer the patient to the specialist. So that's the one we can do. And the other plan that we do is you can take the same patients or other patients, and on a separate day we can do allergy, asthma testing, where we do pulmonary function testing. Asthma is related to allergy, and as far as that goes, and we'll come out, we have nurses that do the testing. It's non-invasive. It's 90 allergen scratch tests on the shoulder. Like 20 of them are for food. The other 70 are for environmental, cats, dogs. Besides that, has the environment with trees and weeds, etc. Then you get a report from our board-certified allergist, pulmonologist, as far as that goes. And again, we legally can pay $1,000. Fair market lease, you give us 8 or 9 patients for that. And then, again, you can sit with the patient, go over the reports, bill out for follow-up consults. So on each day of testing, whether it be nerve conduction, ultrasound, spinal, or allergy testing, asthma, we can pay $1,000 on each day. and you could use the same patients on a separate day to do the allergy that you did the nerve conduction, or other patients. And any new patients of yours or existing patients are candidates for all this testing. From the allergy, anybody runny nose, eyes watering, sniffling, all over the country, all year round, and we do all over the country.
And if I could insert, when I first looked at this, and many people look at it and say, well, what do allergies have to do with a chiropractic practice? And as I mentioned, I've got 4 kids, but 2 of them are twins, which, just a side note, have asthma. And we tried everything, and they were getting worse and worse, and then we went to our chiropractor, here in Florida. And, after being tested for allergies, well, lo and behold, allergies, but then it works in with the adjustments and adjusting, the part of the spinal column that relates to that, and it fits in with the overall health of the patient. With chiropractors,
yes, that makes a good point there, Chuck. So overall, between Chuck's financing program and what we have, for those looking for financing, I guarantee you Chuck has some of the best contacts, and he's been doing it for so many years. And like he says, as long as it's legal, he can finance just about anybody within reason. And the nice part with our stuff, where we are sort of joint venture, is the fact that we can provide for the debt service, the monthly payments, because of this income, if you wanted towards his financing. And for any reason, for some reason, you don't need financing, still, as far as the testing goes, are excellent sources of income for your practice, and there's no obligation. You just give it a try. But I think you'll be, when I say once you see it, smell it, taste it, so to speak, I think you'll be very impressed. 99% of our doctors practically stay with us, a very high percent each and every month. They go once a month, twice a month, 3 times a month.
Nate, on the allergy testing, it's not only the initial test, and revenues generated off that, the diagnosis.
Immune therapy, on the therapy afterwards, we can set up for immune therapy, and there's income on that, which we could, on a one-to-one basis with the doctors. But your point's well taken, Chuck. There's another 1,000 to 3,000 on the immune therapy part, and we can go over that in detail, one-to-one with each doctor, and Chuck can get with your names and numbers, which he, I think, has already, and anybody interested, just in letting him know, and then we can go in very much detail. But we do a package between Chuck's financing and what we do with.
So suffice it to say what I do, because I'm the guy that ultimately runs the budgets, and I prepare the pro formas for our chiropractic physicians, is you can see the income, the additional revenue, increase at an increasing rate. Because if you get, say you identify, and about 72% of patients have allergies. And I'm more familiar with allergies, I guess, because of my kids than I am the nerve conduction velocity. But I could say that it will increase at an increasing rate. If you identify 10 patients the first month, then the next month you're going to be giving therapy to those 10, plus identify 10 more, so you'll have 20 patients. So let me keep rolling. I'm just looking at my time. And you see the complaints.
Yeah, these are different symptoms and diagnosis that you can use, and we also specifically can email you with the ordering sheets, and then all you have to do is send the ordering sheets to us. We have 3 girls full-time. All they do is pre-authorize with the insurance, and then we'll call you quickly to set up dates of testing. But like I say, we can make direct deposit right after the testing to your bank account, or mail your check for the fair market lease, 1,000 a day, allergy, 1,000 a day, nerve conduction, and you'll make another 500 to 1,000 by going over with all the patients, consult on the reports, and then billing their insurance for that.
Okay, and look, I've got 3 minutes left. So the point is, there's no cost to implement. You want to comply with the patient, with payer systems. This increases your volume, and I was involved before I met Nate, and I sought Nate out because I was involved trying to get involved with this myself. We went and we trained the staff and helped our physicians. With Nate, it's his staff, so it's no drain on your staff. So you get additional revenue, additional cash, increase the value of your business, and earlier debt retirement. And you can see, I just had to put this slide in here as a commercial. This is what we do. So loans, self-funding, or hybrid. This is our number. Feel free to call. I'm extension 700. And then again, where do you start? So here is our number. Greg, who is not with us today. Greg is in the back room a lot doing the budgets. I'm more the face on the front. I am a certified commercial lender. So anyway, Nate, did I miss anything or leave anything out?
No, you did an excellent job. I think both of us, as far as giving an overview of what we do from the financing to the diagnostic testing, and the beauty of being able to pay for the financing, that service monthly through the testing. And if for any reason they don't want the financing, they still can make the income on the nerve conduction or allergy testing. But you did an excellent job.
Well, Nate, thank you. You did a great job, too. Thank you, everybody. Please email me, call me, send a smoke signal, get a hold of us, and we'll do a one-on-one. And we'll line you up with Nate. And if you know, I'd love to come see our practices as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.